This is a Toshiba Portégé 3480 CT. Or I think that's how you spell Portégé. And I think this shit is going out of focus. Yeah, it is. Okay, hopefully it's better now. Yeah, this is a sub-notebook from the year 2000. And, Toshiba made it and shit like that. As you can see, mine has the extended high-capacity battery pack. Which I can go to the bottom and... It'd be nice if I could flip it around. And, I don't think you can read that because it's fucking dark out here, but yeah. It says it right there. Yeah. This is actually a pretty nice notebook, and it was a pretty nice notebook back then. Because this shit is small. And without the battery pack, this thing is also very thin as well. Like, you know what, let me take it out if I can. See, there's a few, like, latch mechanisms. First of all, you have to, like, press this little button, and then you have to, like... Yeah, there we go. Then... Can't fucking do this with one hand. And here's the battery pack right here. This is the extended one. You can see it covers the whole base of the laptop. And it's pretty thick. It pretty much makes up the thickness of the laptop if you include it. This one is actually still really good. This one still holds a charge for hours. And so does the main battery in the laptop as well. And you can see, when it's not in use, you can put in this little fucking cover. And yeah, it secures it and you can put in some bag or some shit like that. But I prefer to put it on the laptop since I don't really travel with it or shit like that. And it also provides some helpful directions on how to actually put it back in and stuff. And how to disconnect it as well. This shit ain't foxing. No. Yeah. Well, we're not talking about the battery pack. We're talking about the thin-ass laptop. This thing. As far as I know, this thing is actually as thin as... Don't quote me on this, because I'm not sure, but I think it is. This thing is, I think, is as thin as the first generation MacBook Air. I think. I can probably... I think I can confirm that. Either I'm right, or I just made myself sound really fucking stupid. But yeah. You can see how thin it is. And yeah, it is pretty fucking thin. Back in 2000 standards, this was really thin. Hell, even now I'll say this is actually pretty thin. But it didn't really sacrifice on performance and stuff like that. This thing still had a pretty good CPU. In fact, I'll show you the inside. Oh, yeah. Here it is. Not only that, this thing's pretty much weightless as well. Currently, I have this thing running Windows ME because I don't like Windows 98. Well, actually, that, and also because when I originally tried to install Windows 98 on this thing, it gave me a plethora of errors telling me stupid shit. It just didn't like it. And I think that was because I was installing Windows 98 with the external disk drive that would come with this thing. Because of the thinness, and also because of how small it is. This thing does have a disk drive. In fact, if you want a disk drive, you have to connect it via this port right here. The little docking port, which I do have. And it's like the multimedia port replicator, I think Toshiba called it. So you have to connect it via there. And then you will have a disk drive capability, and also you'll have a bunch of other ports as well, like serial, parallel, and more USB ports and stuff. But yeah. So instead I resorted to installing ME, and it worked. Not only that, USB drivers are also out of the box, so yeah, I stuck with it. And I don't want to sound like I'm getting held at gunpoint or anything, but Windows ME wasn't that bad. Like, being honest, this thing never actually blue screened on me. The only times it ever did was when I had to put in the docking station with the disk drive included, because something was fucking up. I think it's because I installed daemon tools on this thing, and then something was like, I don't know, like interfering with it, and then it freaked out. But whenever I did not do that, it was fine. It was good. So yeah. Let's go over the ports because I'm fucking dumb. You can see that this is the little lock power switch that Toshiba put on a bunch of their notebooks. This is the power button. It's on the left side. This is our little reset button, little exhaust, and then another exhaust. Then here's the 2 PC card slots. These aren't the original covers. These are actually Dell covers because I never actually had the original covers for these things. And since I didn't want these things to collect dust, I just put that. Over here is the PC card latches. So there. See if I can put this shit back in. Ta-da. Over here is infrared, and then the little volume rocker. Then the nice little indicator lights. These are actually pretty good because they're big and clear and stuff like that. Audio. Then you got a single USB port that's actually covered by a nice little rubber cover, so that means it won't collect dust. That's actually pretty nice. So let's see if I can put in correctly. Yeah, there we go. Then the VGA port, and then we already talked about that shit. Then the tiny little funky power port. You see, if you ever get one of these things off eBay or something, make sure it comes with a power cord. I didn't get this off eBay, but there are a lot that come off eBay, I think. Or the sister models, the older ones and the newer ones. You need the power adapter, because the power adapter for these things are a tiny little power cord. You know, power. Oh, yeah, that thing. And you can't. And it only fits with these things, okay? They don't fit with any others. It uses some tiny ass little connector, and it's not nice. So you need the power cord. Come with this thing, or else you're basically fucked. Then after that, the modem. And obviously the little battery right there. This battery actually holds also a pretty good charge. I think I already said that because I'm fucking dumb. You see, this is the Windows 98 key right here. Take it all you want. I honestly don't give a fuck. And yeah. It is a sticker, key, memorize it. And yeah. I don't think it's focusing on that. In fact, it probably may have not focused on any of this shit. This camera's great. Yeah. And over here is the keyboard. The keyboard on this thing, it's a tiny one. So whenever I typed on this thing, I always like mistake the keys because they're so fucking tiny. I'm always used to full-size keyboards, like on my main computer and stuff like that. So whenever I typed in on this, I always like miss a few keys or press the wrong key. And there were like complaints of that when this thing was new because everyone was pretty much used to a full-size keyboard. You can even see that these are the little buttons right here. Left click, right click, and then these 2 smaller buttons are actually the scroller ones, which are actually pretty useful. And then this is the mouse. Yeah. Toshiba called it the AcuPoint. I'm pretty sure that's what they fucking call these things. With the different manufacturers, they're called a billion different fucking names. I know that IBM called them like the track points. I think Dell called it the track stick or some shit like that. And then the Toshiba calls it the AcuPoint. And then HP straight up fucking gave up and then called it, I think, the point stick or something like that. I don't really know. Yeah. But you can see, it looks good. This is in pretty good condition. Let's turn it on. Let's see if this thing's charged. I hope it is. Yeah, you can see that's a little boot screen right there. Now it's booting ME, or Millennium Edition, or Windows Me, or whatever the hell you want to call it. And it actually, like, boots up pretty fast. It just stays on here for a little bit. Let's just wait patiently. There we go. Hopefully. Motherfucker. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Alright, so since I didn't charge it up. So yeah, this is the tiny little power adapter I'm talking to you about. This thing. It's not nice. And here it is, the desktop. This actually has a pretty good screen. It's actually not bad. It's actually a really nice screen in my opinion. The only issue is that it uses one of those old ass backlights that pretty much all the computers back then used to use. It was, I forgot what they were called, but it's not the newer technology that they use today. So you kind of have to like wait a while. Like it takes about like a full 3 minutes or something just for the screen to fully light up and stuff like that, like heat up. But yeah, it seems to be fine now. But as you can see, we can go to properties right now. We can check out the screen resolution. This should have a 1024 by 768 display. And yeah, not only that, it has a pretty cool graphics processor. Let's see if I can. No. You know, fuck this camera. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there. You can see it has a 1024 by 768 panel, and it has an S3 Graphics Savage IX, which it was a pretty good one for one of these laptops. Hell, you can play some older games on it. It's an 8 megabyte chip, but whatever. You can. Let's go here. Yeah, there we go. 8 megabytes. See if I can zoom out without fucking up this thing. Hope that's focus. Yeah, you can see it has that. And I could change the settings on here as well. Let's see if I can point accurately with this thing. Yeah. I hope that thing can see it. I'm really anxious about this camera. Now, there's a strange issue with mine. I'm not sure if it affects like other models or stuff like that, but there is a pretty strange issue with mine. Whenever I try and play 3D games on this thing, it craps out and freezes. Like it hard locks, and the only way to power it off is if you press and hold the power button and stuff like that. That's whenever I only play 3D games on this thing. That's it. But whenever I play like for example 2D games, I don't know, like Mega Man X4, that's the stupid shit I play. Then it runs it just fine. But with 3D games, this thing plays it for like about 10 minutes, and then after that locks up for absolutely no reason at all. I don't know why it does that. This thing doesn't even get that hot either. This thing barely gets hot. The only time that will ever get hot is when I put this thing into full power mode, like full high performance mode, and then that's where it gets to be. Then it gets to be a little bit hot. But this thing almost never heats up at all, which is actually really nice. Not only that, you will almost never hear the fan on this thing as well. Either that my unit is defective, that's probably why it's freezing up because the fan isn't fucking working. But yeah, this thing, I almost never hear the fan. I'm pretty sure I heard the fan once, a few times, but you almost never hear it, and it never almost heats up either. Which is actually pretty nice, because other computers I have like sound like a literal fucking jet engine or something like that when I'm using it. But yeah, a strange little issue with this computer. If I really wanted to, I could like use other computers. I have like a fucking billion other computers that can play older games, but not only this one. Just they aren't as small and tiny as this one. Well, I mean, technically I have another one smaller, and that's a small and tiny. But it doesn't hold a charge as good as this. We're gonna go to my computer and let's see if it... Yeah, there it is. Let's see if I can try and zoom into this. Okay, you know what? Fuck it, okay? It says Pentium 3 CPU, and not only that, this also has the max RAM that you can put on this thing, and 192 megs. Which, honestly, isn't that bad. For the year 2000, that wasn't so bad. That was actually pretty good. This thing was upgraded. I didn't do it, but the previous owner did. And not only that, if you want to upgrade these things, it uses one of those weird-ass DIMMs. It uses one of those really tiny RAM sticks that's only meant for these smaller notebooks. And you can't really find them anywhere else. And if you do, they're like expensive, I'm assuming. They're really expensive. So I'm actually lucky that this thing has the max RAM on it. Because if it didn't, this thing I think will have like 64 megabytes built in. So yeah. That's actually pretty good that it's like that. That's upgraded. And you can see Pentium 3 CPU. Currently, this thing, since it's plugged in, should be in full power mode, I think. I almost never have use it plugged in because the battery's that good. But yeah, this is one of the rare times I have it plugged in. But it should be running at the full 600 megahertz CPU speed because it's plugged in. When it's in battery power, it's at 500 megahertz. Which still isn't really that bad, you know, to conserve battery and stuff like that. But I can change it to 600 megahertz if I really wanted to. But yeah, pretty good Pentium 3 CPU. Honestly, not that bad. In fact, if I remember, I also had XP installed on this thing once. But XP ran horribly. I don't know if it was just a little fluke or it really ran that bad. Because I don't think XP should be running horribly on the 600 megahertz Pentium 3. I think there was worse hardware that XP ran on and it probably ran better. But whatever. And check out the device manager and you can see freaking scroller doesn't want to work because it makes me look stupid. But yeah. Infrared, S3 graphics. Yeah, the usual shit. Not only that, I also tried to run like other operating systems on this thing. Thing is, fucking camera. There we go. The thing is, bastard. Sorry, my camera was just being a little autistic. Now, thing is, if I try and run other operating systems on this thing, it will start to bitch at me that I can't find a disk because since I'm plugging it through a adapter, you know, the docking station and stuff like that, I won't find it as a real disk drive, I think, and it won't proceed to install. Windows it does, but with Linux OSs like Red Hat, I tried to install Red Hat 8 on this thing once and didn't work. So yeah, wasn't fun. I don't think I can really install any other operating systems with this thing. I think I'm tied with Windows on this thing forever. But yeah. Not only that, this thing also has a pretty good hard drive for this thing. It still works. In fact, it's not even really that loud compared to other computers I have. It's a 12 gigabyte drive. And I'm assuming it's also made by Toshiba. But yeah. It has 5 gigs free. Almost 6. Yeah, you see 12 gig drive pretty much. Let's see if this shit works. I think that's clear. Okay, I hope that's clear and it's actually readable. But if it isn't, oh wait, yeah, now it is clear. It's pretty much 12 gigabytes. It says it's 11.2, but like, I mean, come on, Windows takes away like a gigabyte for some reason. Pretty much all computers do. But yeah, pretty much has a 12 gig hard drive. And you can see that that's supposed to be the disk drive. And then the external floppy. Mine doesn't have an external floppy. These things would have shipped with an external floppy drive. But I don't have that. And not only that, with the amount of old ass computers I have, even ones that have built-in floppy drives, you would think I have a floppy disk somewhere, you know, a diskette. I don't have any. I don't own a single one. So yeah, that isn't nice. We could try and go to my documents and see if I have anything personal on here. And do I? I don't think so. Oh, we just got stupid shit. Yeah. You can see, yeah. See, these were one of the games I was trying to play on this thing. It didn't work. It just froze. Then this should be like the driver's folder and stuff like that. I was even able to get this thing online as well. I put in a wireless PC card on this thing, and the camera's not focusing anymore. Fuck this thing. Okay. You see, I was able to get this thing online before. By putting in a PC card, and after that actually worked, I was able to browse the internet for quite a bit. I mean, they couldn't really access a whole lot of websites because, you know, ME. But, yeah. It ran a few, so there was that. But now whenever I try and get this thing online, it doesn't work. I don't know why. It just doesn't really want to. You know, it works when it wants to. It pretty much I have to pick the day to think that when it wants to work. And then I also put in an internet one. The internet one works just fine though. Yeah, nothing really else to see right here. Oh, there isn't really a whole lot to talk about. Let's check out my videos. If I remember, I was able to run 240p video on this. Okay, my dumbass did not have the video file in here. Jimmy and stuff. Ah, okay, here it is. So, yeah. This thing is capable of doing 240p video. If I try and do 480p video, it won't really work. But 240p runs just fine. Well, kind of. I mean, we can see it run. This is just some old ass TV promo, but like, whatever. I'm gonna get content ID'd. And now the camera just doesn't want to fucking work. You know what? When you want to know the reason why. Yeah, you can see it's actually running pretty smoothly. Like, for the first few seconds and stuff like that, it was like, fucking up, but like, you can see it actually works pretty good. Obviously, it isn't ideal, but like, it's pretty smooth. So there's that. Yeah. I think that guy's dead. Yeah. We'll just wait for the whole promo to end. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I just got content ID'd by that, but as you can see, 240p video does work, sound works, pretty much everything on this thing works, and in fact it works fine. This is actually a pretty nice little laptop. Really not that bad. If you ever find one, and if you're interested in this kind of shit, just make sure it comes with the charger, because I'm pretty sure the chargers themselves are fucking expensive. I'm actually glad that mine came with all the fucking goodies and shit, like the extended battery and the external disk drive and shit like that. I mean, I'm not really gonna show the external disk drive because I have that like in the fucking basement, but yeah, you can see it fully works and it's just fine. You know, it pretty much works like any other computer. The display is also really nice and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I don't really got anything else to say about this thing. Motherfucker. We can see just how fast it shuts off. Shut off in about like 4 seconds, 4 or 5. And yeah, you can see for a split second it says now safe to turn off your computer. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes it like says that, but actually shuts off. I don't know. I mean, being retarded, I think. But you can see it works. It works just fine, and it's actually a pretty nice little sub notebook. Back then, it was really nice. Hell, this thing was fucking expensive back then. So yeah. That's it.